everybody. It's a hot day in Texas. We're supposed to be getting rain coming in around the 4th of July and rain for 4 or 5 days. I hope it does. Wouldn't bother me one bit. If I could sit home the 4th of July on the porch and watch the rain and it be cooler air, whew, that would be nice. I don't ever do any 4th of July festivities anyway. Sometimes I go watch the fireworks from my car, but nobody I know, wants to get out in the heat and do anything. So there's nobody to do anything with around here. Not locally, not for me. I've got to run to the feed store. Just thought I'd take y'all along with me. Give y'all a little update about my doctor's appointment. Some of y'all knew I got insurance this month. And I finally went to the doctor this week, thinking I was going to have blood work and all this stuff done. Got my mind right, because I don't do that. I don't like to do that. And she scheduled it for September. I about fell out, y'all. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's been like since 2018 since I had blood work. I mean, I would have thought they would have had a strap around my arm and drawing blood so quick while I was there. Yep, she put it off to September. Can you believe that? Can you believe that's how our doctors are these days? They don't take your temperature no more. They don't look in your throat no more. They don't look in your ears no more. I was shocked that she still had my medical records from the last time I was there. Now, it's not the same doctor I saw in that office. There's several of them in there. Several PAs. This is a different one. But she did seem to be a little bit updated from the records on surgeries and things that I've had. Because most times I have been to doctor's offices. It's my old doctor that I had for years passed away, and I was having to use someone else. And every time I would go in, they would tell me they didn't even have a record of me being there. But they would remember me, but there would be no paperwork on me. And y'all, that's supposed to be one of the #1 doctor's offices in this town. And she diagnosed me wrong with my breathing and had me on the wrong medicine. And she almost let my friend die with pneumonia. She had to have part of her lung removed. I wouldn't take a stray animal, much less my Brindley to her. People know who I'm talking about locally. If y'all like her, that's fine. But there's just too much bad stuff happened from her office. I would not go. Okay, I'm gonna run in here and get my feed, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue this adventure. Well, I'm trying to pull out from the feed store, and we have an ambulance. It has a traffic stopped. And there's a new girl in here. And she was so busy trying to get me in her computer that she didn't even get my order right. And I repeated it to her several times. And the boys bought out the feed. So they just lost some business because she didn't tell them his as many as I wanted. It's the first time I've ever seen her in there. I told them I wasn't going to go back in and fool with it today. I wasn't in the mood. It was too hot. Young kids, I just don't know. I asked her, I said, look, I've been coming here all my life and nobody's ever asked me did I want to be in that computer. I don't use these for a tax write-off. It's a hobby. And I don't even come in weekly or every other week. I don't need to be in the computer. Y'all, she was determined to put me in that computer. What's your name? What's your last name? What's your first name? You don't need to know my name. I'm paying you cash. I need a total. Can y'all believe that? Unbelievable. See, the lady that runs that, the boys that are usually there, they don't ask you none of that stuff. These kids and this computer stuff is going to be the downfall of the world, y'all. I've said before, and my friends laugh at me, that the airwaves of the internet is hell. That's the hell where the devil and the spirits live. The demon spirits live. And sometimes I really feel like that, y'all. But I do believe it's definitely going to be the way. You know, the Bible talked about, you know, communication and people knowing stuff in a few minutes. Well, how else is it going to be? It wouldn't be a telephone. I know for years I heard people talking about the telephone. But the internet would definitely be the communication in the end of times, where messages could be around the world in a matter of seconds. Hopefully I won't be here for all that. Hopefully I'll just be resting. Y'all, going by the car wash, it's so hot. My car hadn't been washed since 6 or 8 weeks ago. I went one evening when the sun went down and washed my car at the car wash. And it's been so hot since. And my car is so horribly dirty. But our car wash, we got some new places where you drive through. Well, I'm claustrophobic and can't do it. I can't drive through there and be trapped in my car and can't get out with them brushes, y'all. My niece took me through and I didn't think I was going to make it out the other side. I've gotten better with elevators and heights, you know, like an elevator you can see out of, a glass elevator. It's not my favorite thing, but I can do those now. But I need to work on that. I need to work on that being closed in thing. Ooh. Anyway, there's no place for me to go wash my car except the car wash where I have to wash it now, because these other places have put the only car wash where you could go in and sit in the air conditioner and wait for them to wash your car. They had to close down. And there's a couple of those places, you know, that'll pick your car up and all that stuff. But, you know, it'd just be nice, like while I'm out, if I could run to the car wash, you know, get a car wash. But there's no place in this area that has that service where you can wait, you know, in the AC. See, I used to go and, you know, I'd read and sit there and do paperwork, and back in the day, appointments, you know, answer text messages from clients. I mean, I'd find something to do while I was waiting. There's always something to do. Y'all see that dust? You might not can that came from that road. Man, it's dusty. I am praying for that rain next week and no flooding, just good rain, Jesus. Ooh, I just keep praying about it, y'all. Seeing that little Tesla there getting charged up. Y'all, sometimes that charging center is lined and people waiting. I guess certain weekends and stuff when people are coming through, but I'm seeing more and more of those in our town. There's a lot of electric cars here now. Chevrolets and Ford has one. And Chevrolet is coming out with a lot. One of their best sellers, electric cars, they're not going to make any more of. I don't know if it was after last year or this year. If any of y'all keep up with that. I keep up with a little bit of everything, y'all. And they're going to make different electric cars. But they have charging stations at the car lots here now. It's becoming more and more popular regardless of people don't want it, just like other things. You know. So, I don't know if I'll ever have one, but see, I wouldn't want to have to stop back there at that cafe, you know, for an hour and charge up, although it's not that expensive. I know several people. There's one right there. Tesla, that white one. I'm telling you, they're all over the place up here. I don't know how many I saw the other day when I was out and about. Y'all, Big Lots has a 40% sale on their patio outdoor stuff. So I'm going to run in here. There's a couple of things I've been looking at. And I'm going to see. There's another one. Did y'all see that white one? I'm telling you, they're everywhere. Teslas are everywhere, y'all. And people used to talk about them being so expensive. Y'all, they're cheaper than most SUVs. Tesla right now, there's one right there in parking beside. I'm telling you, they're everywhere. I have never seen so many in this town. What, that's 3 or 4 just since I left the feed store that I've seen. They are, although they're $50,000, but if you have a down payment, see, which I've always had a good trade-in and a down payment when I buy a vehicle. So, you know, my notes are not that high. But if you have a down payment and trade a vehicle in like mine, you can get that note for those for not that much. And I don't think people are looking at it like that. But those cars are $25,000 and $35,000 cheaper than some of the SUVs and trucks that I've looked at that I'd like to have. And the same for my son. So, you know, the electric cars may become the cheaper cars and people might buy them for that. So these car makers might want to start thinking about that, you know. But I do believe eventually all the new cars will be electric. I really do. I don't know if I'll live to see that day. And I'm sure they'll improve on the battery quality of it. But everybody that I know that's had an electric car for the last few years, y'all, they've had no trouble with them at all. None. Just like my electric mower and my electric blower, when I had gas ones or gas weed eaters, I was constantly having to have those tools in the shop, working on them myself, or paying a fortune to have them fixed. Y'all, with my electric stuff, compared to what I was paying to have those things fixed, I can go buy another one and replace it cheaper. So that's just what our world's coming to. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are, you know, in the oil and gas business, but I mean, it's better for me, especially since I'm on a limited budget, to have electric lawnmower and blowers, and my edger, and all my gardening tools are battery operated, and they're all easy to start. And y'all, for 2 years I have not had one problem with any of them. I got all mine from Harbor Freight, so I do recommend them from Harbor Freight, because that's what I have, and I'm very happy. More happy than anything I ever bought from Sears or Lowe's or anything, say, in the last 15 years. Now, years ago, I used to buy from Montgomery Ward, and we would just get a new something because we wanted a new something. It wasn't because anything broke. And all we ever did to those mowers back then, y'all, was change the oil. I don't ever remember changing the belts or the bearings. We'd change the blades and the oil. And one of those riding mowers, y'all, I know I had 10 years. And it caught on fire and everything. Caught on fire, I'm not lying. And, it was a mess. And y'all, even catching on fire, the thing still ran. But when I put gas in it, I trickled a little gas, you know, down on the side. And when I was mowing, it was hot like it is now here. And it overheated, and that gas caught on fire. And I put it out. I ran and got a blanket and threw the blanket over the mower. And it smothered the fire out. Thank God I thought to do that. But even after that burned, it still ran, and we never had no trouble out of it. But y'all be blessed. I'm fixing to run in Big Lots and see if I can find a great bargain. I know there's one in there waiting for me.